So when it comes to building muscle, I think everyone knows that protein is kind of a big deal, but the source of your protein can also play an important role when it comes to maximizing muscle gain, since it determines the quality of your protein. Now you can get your protein from two sources, animals or plants. So today I'm going to go over several foods from both categories that will give you a better understanding of your food choices and in turn maximize muscle gain. First, let's define what makes a protein source high quality. Basically, it comes down to two things: a complete amino acid profile and high digestibility. A quality source of protein will have all 9 essential amino acids, which includes a high leucine content, and this is important because leucine is crucial in muscle building while reducing muscle protein breakdown. It's kind of the initiator of muscle protein synthesis. The other 8 amino acids are also important in building muscle, but they have to come from your food sources since your body can't synthesize them. So a protein source that can deliver all 9 essential amino acids is a complete protein source. Digestibility is also important because the more digestible a protein source is, the greater the amount of amino acids can be used in muscle protein synthesis. Because of these two factors, animal sources are higher in quality and more anabolic than plant sources in both amino acid profile and digestibility. However, this doesn't mean that you can't maximize muscle growth if you are a vegetarian or a vegan. All it really means is that slightly more effort on your part is needed when choosing your protein source, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's start with animal sources first. There are several on this list, but whey protein powder leads the way. Not only does it have all 9 essential amino acids and it's fast digesting, but it's incredibly convenient. It also provides a range of different flavors in case you're experiencing flavor fatigue from chicken and steak. And if you're currently losing fat, it's a great option to get protein without getting a lot of calories. However, despite the quality of whey protein, it shouldn't be used as a meal replacement. Protein powders do not provide any micronutrients such as vitamins or minerals, and these play a key role in several metabolic processes in the body, which include muscle building. Now, an easy solution is simply to choose whole food protein sources. Some of the best options include eggs, chicken, turkey, fish, and beef. Ideally, it's best to incorporate a variety of these sources. For instance, fish is a wonderful source of omega fatty acids, which are essential because the body can't produce them. Iron is found in abundance in red meat. Chicken and turkey provide magnesium and zinc in addition to being lean options for protein, and eggs provide a lean source of protein in the form of egg whites, while whole eggs contain a host of B vitamins. Egg protein is also nearly on par in terms of amino content and digestibility with whey protein, and in some cases may be considered a better option for individuals who need to avoid dairy. Speaking of dairy, other protein sources such as yogurt, casein, and cottage cheese are also high quality in the sense that they have an abundance of complete amino acids, but in regards to digestion, these protein sources are slower to digest than whey protein. Now, this is not a good or a bad thing, it's simply different and can be taken advantage of. For instance, the use of whey protein makes more sense during the day where you can get a fast digesting protein after a workout. However, a slower digesting protein makes more sense to take later in the evening where you won't be eating until perhaps the next day. While casein protein powder is convenient like whey protein, you can replace it with other slow digesting proteins such as cottage cheese, yogurt, or skyr. Now, when it comes to plant sources, it's important to know that these proteins are not digested as easily or efficiently due to a fiber called cellulose, which can impair the bioavailability of protein from these sources. Additionally, not all protein sources are complete in terms of amino acid profile. Quinoa and soy, for instance, are complete sources, but if you don't want to eat them, then you'll likely need to combine other plant-based protein sources to obtain a complete amino acid profile. However, none of this means that vegans or vegetarians cannot build and maximize muscle growth. A 12-week study comparing soy versus whey reported no difference in muscle growth between the two groups. One of the strengths of this study was also that individuals were obtaining enough total daily protein, which is still by far the most important factor when it comes to protein consumption. What this basically means is that plant protein can also maximize muscle growth, but you need to ensure that you include enough variety that can provide all 9 essential amino acids. For instance, beans and rice are complementary protein sources because they each contain amino acids that the other lacks. Additionally, to compensate for the lower bioavailability, increasing your total daily protein intake for plant sources is encouraged. So if you had 20 grams of plant protein in one serving, it would be beneficial to increase that amount a little higher to offset the lower digestibility. As far as plant sources go, soy, quinoa, hemp, buckwheat, tofu, and plant-based protein powder can provide a complete source of protein. But even if you aren't a vegan, including these foods is encouraged because of the micronutrient and fiber content that can aid in satiety, which you wouldn't find otherwise in animal sources. So to sum it up, animal proteins produce a greater response to muscle protein synthesis than plant-based protein sources on a gram-by-gram basis, since they have better digestibility, a greater leucine content, and are all complete sources. However, total daily protein intake is the most important factor, which means regardless of your choice, adequate protein is the first priority. Maximizing muscle growth with plant-based sources is possible, but it requires that you be diligent enough to include a variety of sources to obtain a complete amino acid profile. Whey protein powder is a high quality source, but its lack of micronutrients and vitamins means that you're going to want to include your protein from other sources. Slow digesting proteins like casein and Greek yogurt can also be beneficial when going long periods without eating, such as bedtime, and can be used to improve satiety. One final thing I wanted to leave you all with is the protein digestibility-corrected amino acid scores. This list basically just ranks protein sources based on their amino acid profile and digestibility. It's a good tool to reference, but not something you should use as a means of restricting your diet, so don't focus too much on it. Anyway, that's it for today's session. I really hope this video helped explain the importance of protein sources and how you can accommodate them based on your dietary choices. And if you think I've left anything out, let me know down below in the comment section, or if you have any of your own suggestions. If you found this video helpful, consider crushing that like button and subscribing. But until then, I'll see you all next time.